So first of all, this is an ongoing investigation, and so I can't comment on the details or exactly what type of incident it was, what type of crime it may have been. But it does look as though the taxi driver in question did behave with incredible presence of mind and bravery. But I've got to say, this is something that is an ongoing investigation. I think it would be premature to say much more than that.
Could Christmas be in danger if we don't get jabs, boosters to younger people?
I think it's very good news that the JCVI has today authorised the booster programme to be rolled out to everybody 40 plus. And when you look at what's happening in the pandemic at the moment, just here in Newham, sadly there are people in ITU, in intensive care, who are suffering badly from COVID, but they're all the unvaccinated. And what's happening is that if you can get your booster, then your immunity goes right back up to 95%. So far, we've got 75% of everybody over 70 getting a booster. That's a huge number of people, but it's that further 25% that will make all the difference to the winter, to Christmas, to our plans going forward, because it's that extra level of protection that we really need. So the message is anybody over 70, come forward, get your booster. Anybody over 50, come forward and get your booster. And now, in the next week or so, anybody over 40 as well, come forward and get your booster. And we're also doing a second dose for the 16 and 17-year-olds.
Last year, you last minute had to introduce restrictions at Christmas. If we don't see people come forward for this, we don't get younger people this protection, could we see restrictions again, do you think?
We don't see anything in the data at the moment to suggest that we need to go to Plan B. We're sticking with Plan A, but what we certainly have got to recognise is there is a storm of infection out there in parts of Europe. You can see those numbers ticking up very sharply in some of our continental friends, and we've just got to recognise that there is always a risk that a blizzard could come from the east again as the months get colder. The best protection for our country is for everybody to go forward and get their booster.
We'll see a vote today in the Commons to row back on the Patterson vote. You said yesterday that you wish you'd handled things differently. Is now the time to finally apologise for your error of judgment?
Dan, I just want to salute you and the media generally for keeping going on this subject. I'm here to talk about boosters and really to urge people to come forward and get their boosters. That's the critical thing.
We've seen the Transport Secretary, Grant Shapps, a report about him over the weekend. Were you aware that he'd set up a group to lobby against house building on airfields?
Again, I've got nothing to add on that. If there are things to be investigated, then of course that should take place. But I admire the way that you're keeping going on. The key thing is today, people should think about their booster program about getting a booster. As you've said, I think it is the only real risk that we face, that we don't get enough people coming forward. The numbers are starting to climb. It's incredibly exciting. We've got 12.6 million boosters already done. I think that we're closing the gap between those that we've done and those that are eligible, which is so the program is accelerating. And I want to thank GPs for what they're doing. I don't think we've paid enough tribute to GPs and GP surgeries and all the staff for the way they are now doing huge numbers of boosters, and it's making a big difference.
Final question. You say people want to talk about boosters, of course they do, but people do care about this stuff. Do you not think it's time for you as the Prime Minister to show leadership here and say, I got this wrong, I'm sorry? Again, I admire what you said. I said something about that last night, and what I think we want to do is encourage people to get their boosters.